Good morning, students. Unit 2, Quantum Mechanical Model of Atom. Topic 1, Bohr's Atomic Model. There are fixed path around the nucleus is energy cells or main energy cells. It is represented in the letter N, and we know it is a planetary model. The nucleus present at the center and the electrons revolving. So this is designated by some letters, principal quantum number. N is equal to 1, N is equal to 2, N is equal to 3, and N is equal to 4. The N is equal to 1, N is equal to 2. These are all main energy levels. These energy levels have some, it is designated by some letters K, L, M, and L. The first cell is K, and second cell is M, and third cell is M, and fourth cell is N. So N is equal to 1, it is represented K shell. N is equal to 2, it is represented L shell. N is equal to 3 and represented M shell, and N is equal to 4, it is represented N shell. Here we know this, the electrons are filled in the circular orbit. This circular orbit is main energy levels. It has some subshells. The subshells, the electrons are located. The subshell is known as orbitals. The name is SPDF. SPDF is subshells of main cells. It is represented by orbitals. In this main energy level, the K shell have only one subshell, that is S. Second main shell have two subshells S and P. Third main shell may have three subshells SPD. Fourth subshells may have SPDF. There are four subshells in the nth main shell. And here the S shell is a very smallest, which is closest to the nucleus. K shell and is 2 electrons. S as well as P shell may have 8 electrons, and third main shell 3 subshells, it have 18 electrons, and N is equal to 4, the last main shell 4 subshells, it is 32 electrons. So in this 32 electrons as well as 18 electrons distributed in this subshells. Now we can see how the electrons are distributed in this subshells. N is equal to 1, it is a K shell, must have only one subshell S. Because of first cell, you can write that is 1S. The 1 denotes that it is a main shell, N is equal to 1. And N is equal to 2, it is L shell. It is 2 subshells in the L shell, S as well as P. So we can write 2S as well as 2P because of this 2 as well as denotes that N is equal to 2. Main shell is 2. That is what actually it is a L main shell. N is equal to 3, M shell. It have 3 subshells S, P, D. This can be written 3S, 3P, 3D because of the third main shell is 3. And fourth main shell, it is N is equal to 4. It is N shell. It have 4 subshells S, P, D, F. The SPDF also we shall write 4S, 4P, 4D, 4F. Why we are writing? Because of it is N is equal to 4, that is I am writing 4 and 4P, 4D. Now we can identify the differentiation of 3S, 4S. The 3S denotes that the third main shell M. S denotes that subshell, that is asymmetrical quantum number. Likewise, this 3S, it is N plus L rule. The 3 denotes that principal quantum number as well as 4 denotes that principal quantum number N. The S denotes that it is a subshell. It's asymmetrical quantum number. This is N plus L rule. So we shall say what are orbitals now? The region of subshells where the probability of finding electrons is maximum is called orbitals. The main shell is known as orbit. The subshell is known as orbitals. That means subshells. We have 4 types of subshells here. One is S orbital. S subshell, it have 1 orbital, and P subshell may have 3 orbital, and D subshell may have 5 orbital, one more. F subshell, it have 7 orbitals. So in this lesson, In this topic, we are discussing about how the electrons are arranged in main subshells as well as in this main shells as well as orbitals. We have S as well as P as well as D as well as F. In this subshells, 2 electron, 8 electron as well as 18 electron as well as 32 electrons are distributed in this shell, in this subshell S, P, D, F. So we can come to the conclusion for the quantum numbers, the electrons are arranged in the circular orbit. In this circular orbit, it is oriented in the space of S, P, D, F. Thank you.